you guys, how comes doing good deeds, like doing a good thing is like a novelty? So like if you see somebody, this is why I think, the world is cooked and we're actually all inherently evil. Because if you think about it, why is it if you see somebody doing something like helping somebody in need, like giving money to a homeless person, or even when it comes to like, I don't know, a parent has a child with a disability and people are like, wow, what a credible thing you did. Like how you're looking after them. Like, is that not just what we're supposed to do anyways? Like, despite how much money anybody makes or if they have a disability, like these are the kinds of things to me that remind me that I actually hate it. Because why do we treat doing something good for somebody else like it's this big thing? It's the same thing with parenting, and I say this before, I've said this many times. As soon as the child is like really got great manners or well behaved, oh, you must have been raised right. What great parents you must have. But no one has anything to say when the child is the opposite. When it's the opposite, it's just, oh, this kid just came straight out of Satan, out of the devil, out of hell. We don't know where the hell that child came from, but it could only be hell. Like, I find that to be fascinating, especially like having worked with kids for so long. That whole dynamic of, we'll take credit when the kids turn out good. Or even me being a teacher. There are so many great teachers. I had this one great teacher. What about the other teachers who are not considered to be great teachers? Why are we just tolerating them? That's the problem I have. Like, I'm actually developing a serious problem with the fact that it's raining a little bit, by the way. With the fact that, like, it's acceptable in society. One of the ways we tolerate the wrong types of people in life, is by the fact that when somebody has right behavior, like, for example, one thing I hate is how, let's say I go into a store right now and somebody's really rude to me. Now, I'm not argumentative, believe it or not. I do think that a lot of people just assume that because I'm a black woman and I have opinions. Because even when people call me opinionated, I'm like, everybody's opinionated. It's just I'm the only one who has the balls to say it out loud. You still have your opinions, you just keep them inside. And I couldn't live like that because I like to be free. And like storing things inside literally makes you feel heavier, like actually heavier. So I like to just say stuff out loud. And not in an offensive way, because I can say something. I can say, I think the weather in England is fantastic, which I do actually. I actually like the fact that like it's cold right now, it's raining. This is my favorite kind of weather, but I also can appreciate for somebody else, this is a horrible weather day and it's killing their mood. I get it. Two things can be true at once. It's not that deep. But a lot of people are very small-minded where it's like, no, but you must agree with me and what I think, because how comes you don't agree? That's why people don't share their opinions about anything anymore in the world. But that could be true. I appreciate that a lot of people, this type of weather really does genuinely ruin their mood, like ruin the day. I understand that. And that's why strategically, like during times like this, I don't pray for bad weather because I'm thinking of the kids who have exams. So I don't want them to have to be like going into their exams with the muggy day and like all of that. So I'm not praying for the weather. Anyway, hold on one second. So going back to my store scenario, it's actually busier than I would think it would be at this time of day because it's still like the morning. But anyway, going back to my situation. So if I go into a shop, right, and another person starts an argument with me, right, for no reason. Let's say it's another woman, to make the variables and the factors at hand to be smaller. So let's say they go to grab something and it's like, I go to grab something and it's the last one on the shelf, and they were thinking that they were going to grab the thing on the shelf, right? Let's say it's a box of pasta, yeah? So I go to grab the last box of pasta, and then bearing in mind there's all these other types of pasta there, and then this woman's like, that's so unfair, you knew that I was about to take that last box of pasta, how selfish for you to take the last one. I need this because I've got a family of 4, like, you know, this is how people are. So in this scenario, if I now say, hey, you know what, here you go, you take it, like, it's fine, you know, I'm just a single gal, and it's not that deep, I'll just get spaghetti in anyways, or I'll just get another type of pasta, yeah? People will be like, that woman was crazy, but like, good on you for being so, handling this with so much class and so much decorum. Why do we keep giving the worst of society class and decorum? Like, that's my question of the day. Why are we so happy that, oh, you just tolerated and you just accepted how this woman spoke to you? Because that's entitlement. Like, hey, and this is why I say it doesn't pay in life. It doesn't work out for the best ever to do good things, because it's not that deep to me. Like, I will give you the, mate, take the frigging pasta. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not that deep. The fact that it's that deep to you as a grown woman says so much more about you. I don't care. Take it. Look, I'll go and walk to another store if I have to. I'll go somewhere else. I don't really care. Like, it's not that deep. The fact that you're taking it so seriously, and the fact you have energy in your body to even start this disagreement, says a lot about you. But then society would be like, well done for how you behaved and how you responded. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having to behave and respond to absolute nonsense, and the expectation being, oh, you take the high road. Screw that. Because all it's doing, I'll tell you why I say screw that, yeah? I choose to do that most of the time anyway, because it's going to cause me less stress. I'm not argumentative. I'm not going to get into an argument. I don't really care. Like, it's not that deep. But what I started to think, yeah, is what I'm about to say is going to seem like an extreme change of things, right? But we wonder why people like Epstein and Diddy's and all these people get away with stuff. And it's because we just tolerate. We expect good people to be gooder. That's not a word. Right? And then we just turn a blind eye to bad people. Like, I've had conversations with people where they're like, well, you know, I'm asking this from you because I know you can do better, but this other person, I don't think they can do better. So I'm like, so why does then there's more pressure on my shoulders now? Because they can't handle it. Both of us landed into this life because, you know, two people, albeit different people, as in like not the same two people each, decided to have sex one day. Like, I didn't wake up, I didn't choose to be here, but then I'm sick of being praised. Like, oh, because we can put all this extra weight on your shoulders, we love you. Huh? Why is that? How is that fair? Oh, because we can just expect of you what we can't expect of somebody else. How is that fair? And I'm supposed to be happy about that. Am I supposed to be like, oh, you know what? Thank goodness. No. So I've been thinking about that quite a lot. I need to cross the road. I'll be right back. Oh my days. That undercover police. It's giving undercover police. Anyway. Yeah, like, I don't get it. Like, it's annoying because I feel like we should just normalize. It just goes to, like, am I wrong in thinking this just goes to show a lot about us as humans? The fact that we see somebody doing a good deed as like some kind of special event, when You should just do good deeds. Like if you see somebody in need, you just help. If you can do anything to help, I've been saying to you guys that recently, all of a sudden, almost out of nowhere, I've just been like, you know what, do I need to acquire loads of belongings? Like, do I need to, because I was thinking before, like, okay, I want to change my wardrobe. I want to like buy some new clothes and stuff. And I'm also now just like even now, the Jordans I'm wearing, this is the worst I've ever had a pair of Jordans, like the worst condition. But then I'm like, there's other people who need stuff like in the world and like who can't even afford a pair of Jordans or can't even afford like the things I do for myself. Why do I need to go? Like, what have I actually gained by buying a whole bunch of new stuff right now? Like, that's why I don't want to do it. That's why I don't want to do it. Because I'm like, I can justify it for myself. And no, I don't need the therapy of it all. People like retail therapy or doing stuff for yourself is important for your mental health. I get all of that. I don't need to buy anything, really. Like, realistically speaking. And it's starting to, like, really weigh on my conscience, this whole topic, because I'm like, people are actually out here suffering. Look at this big truck behind me. People are actually suffering, and I'm just here, I need another this, I need another that. Like, I don't. The only thing I definitely need, though, is I need a new pair of cowgirl boots, because those are, like, I actually feel less confident in life. And the only reason I don't have any is because I wore out the last two that I had. Because I was wearing them every day. And that is a mental health need. That is one item I will buy. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, guys. I'm just starting to feel really different about a lot of things. And just like, why is it a big deal when you go and you see somebody who needs help? Why do we look at it as like some big noble thing that you go and help somebody in need? Like, oh, how giving you are. Like, it's not that deep. But even if you volunteer, say, like, anything, like, even to do with church, because you guys know that the church is the main area that I'm the most annoyed about this with, because, like, why is it at church? Everyone wants to show up to a Sunday service and look good, but why the church is ever closed? Like, you could be open, you could be offering things. Guys, am I actually gorgeous? I'll be right back. The absolute ironies of the life that I'm living. So it's the middle of the day. Well, it's actually the morning, by the way. So I've come to the shop here, and I love the guys at this shop. I've just recorded at home, like 2 hours of me talking about how men aren't lonely enough. And I was basically explaining how just the disrespect and the entitlement and how, like, a lot of things, and like how they don't realize how unsafe we actually feel when they do certain things. And I've just had this exact experience right now in the shop. So I'm in the shop, I'm just minding my business, buying the things I came to buy. And this guy, I think he wasn't completely okay, right? I can't make this stuff up. And I was like, and he was asking me, like, what's your name? Like, he kept asking me, what's my name? And I was like, and this is another thing, like I was talking about in the video, like, I didn't mention this, but they're asking me of what my name is and where I live. Why would I tell you that as a man who I don't know? Like, this is one thing, I don't think they're actually thinking when they're asking these questions, because why would I tell you that? Because now you know where I live. Like, this is an unsafe question to ask me when you don't know me. Oh, what's your name? Where do you live? Anyway, so he kept asking and repeatedly asking. I was ignoring him over and over again. And he still kept asking. And in the end, I was just like, I don't want to share this with you, but I wish you a great day. Like, God bless. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you can't even go out in the morning. in the morning, on like a Tuesday, whatever, I can't even go out without the threat of a man in my field. And if I say this to any men, yeah, all they're gonna say is, "Oh, not all men are like that, though. Not all men are like that." Okay, that's true. That was so annoying. Okay, what a vibe kill, because I was just trying to, and I'm even thinking, yeah, I'm being smart. Like, this is why I come out sometimes early before like work and stuff, because I'm like, let me go out while it's early and there's sunlight, and like, it's not sunlight, it's whoever's like, the sky is basically white, it's just covered in clouds and it's just lightly sprinkling. But like, surely I can't have done anything wrong by going out right now. Yeah, just by existing and having a vagina, I'm still going to be wrong somehow. I bet you some people will be like, well, you should have done this and you could have done this, you could have done that. Maybe if you went out an hour earlier, I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to get into that because I did a whole 2 hours talking about that. So check out those videos if you like. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't understand why doing like a good deed is this like, and this is actually, do you know what? This is actually a good angle to go into as far as doing good deeds and stuff, and like how you talk to people, because this is one area where I will say I can't believe I've really been like firing shots at the male community like all morning. But anyway, it's like you can't be nice to them, because as I said, there was a guy up the road and I thought, you know what, he's super handsome, and I just said to him, hey, I think you're super handsome, right? Because some men will complain they never get complimented, like, you know, women don't do this. But then as soon as you do, they immediately take that as like you're making a whole entire move like in their direction. And it's like, I was just telling you that I think you're handsome, or I just wanted to tell you something, like a nice compliment. That's why I've learned you can't compliment then, like you actually can't win. You can't actually win. Yeah. Because if you say anything nice, they're like, oh, you're interested. And it's like, I actually just wanted to compliment you. Like, maybe no one else told you. No, I just wanted to be nice. You can't be. Don't do it. And this is the thing. But anyways, back to what I was saying beforehand. Yeah, I just don't understand why it's a big freaking deal. Like, if we're all these good people, like everyone thinks of themselves as a good person, like, I'm not doing anything to hurt anyone, so I'm a good person. But you're not doing good either, and when you do, you act like, whoa. Like, I remember one time, I can't remember what had happened, and there was like a person, and she was there and she did something, I can't remember what it was, and she was like, that's my good deed for the day. And I was just like, it reminds me of like the pastor's wife I was telling you about, who always talks about building up my treasures in heaven, like, or the concept of blessing others so that you will be blessed. So like, if you weren't going to be blessed, would you still bless others? Yeah, you wouldn't, because you're only doing this because you get something out of it, like yourself. So realistically, it's no different than you showing up to work. Well, you're there because you're going to get paid at the end of the day. Do you necessarily care about the work you're doing? Do you necessarily want to be there? Maybe you do, and maybe you do. Like, because it's possible that you can. I'm just saying. Would you still be showing up there if you weren't getting paid? That's why I think everybody's fake and fraudulent and selfish at the end of the day. Like, we don't need all this stuff. Like, even when I'm seeing people in their cars and stuff, I'm just like, what's the necessity of, like, especially if you buy like a supercar, right? Unless you live near like a racing route where you can actually drive the car at its maximum speed, what's the freaking point of getting an expensive car? Like, and it's funny to me how when people get money, the first thing they do is just splurge. Like, I want to buy this fancy car, I want to buy this house, I want it, like a house, I understand, because obviously you want to have your own place that you live in that you own, so that I don't have an issue with. But then even then, it's like, when I see people with these big huge mansions, yeah, like the other day I saw, like, I think it was like the most expensive mansion ever sold in like Beverly Hills, I think, and it's got like 60 bedrooms, 65 bathrooms. Like, bro, that's a hotel. That's a hotel. Like, who needs that? Like, I would actually genuinely, guys, rather live in a cute little cabin in the woods. I honestly think you'd be way happier in life. In a cute little cabin in the woods, like, with just the bare necessities, the simple, you know what I mean? Like, because what more do I need? Like, really, I just need the basics, all the essentials of life already there, you know. I would be one to splurge on an essential oil because I love essential oils, like natural oils, I should say, not essential, but natural oils, because they just give off the best fragrances and everything and all of that. So, but then even then you can retrieve those from nature itself, you know what I mean? So I don't need to go onto Amazon to buy a 200 milliliter bottle of tea tree oil. I can just find a tea tree and extract the oil. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to go and buy, like, orchids are my favorite flowers, by the way. I love the smell of an orchid. And all my favorite scents usually include some form of orchid in there. An orchid, a lily, a few other things. And I don't need to go and buy, like, in the freaking supermarkets. I can actually just grow my own orchids. You know what I mean? Like, grow them for myself. So I might do that. Like, I should do that instead. And then if I have money and there's things that require money, like even cooking, like one of the things that bothers me about cooking is how weird social etiquette is. Because I'm about to say something, and when I say it, I bet you a lot of you are going to think, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. I would love that if I was that person. But in reality, it's not that simple, right? So many times, yeah, when I'm cooking and stuff, I think I've cooked too much food. It would be cool if we were still back in the days of like knocking on neighbours' doors. I'll just give the food to my freaking neighbours or to somebody who wants the food, mate. Now there's so many rules and regulations about so much stuff. Like, if I was to just randomly start cooking and giving it out to people for free, there would be legal issues with that. You know what I mean? And then it's just, everything's a headache these days. And people be like, oh my gosh, I'd love to have a neighbour that just randomly cooks food and brings it over. But then, if absolutely anything goes wrong with that, like you have a peanut allergy and you didn't tell me you had one, or, you know, anything like that. I'm not talking about like if the food is uncooked, because that's ridiculous. But, you know, now it becomes a whole thing. I can't be arsed. Like, this world actually sucks. That's what I mean. Like, everything about this existence that we're living in actually flipping sucks, to be honest. Everything about it. Like, there's nothing good about being alive. That's why my only dedication... Let's just make sure this dude isn't following me, by the way. Okay. Before I make a few turns into where I actually live. Yeah, that guy was acting so weird. Because, like, I was actually ignoring him. And I feel like I don't normally go via the ignoring route. I usually just say something like, oh, thank you, I'm not interested, whatever. But because I could just tell a few screws were loose there, and also he was drinking an alcoholic beverage, might I add. It's all damn near like in the morning. I don't even know if he was buying anything because he was behind me like in the queue, and I was just like, everything about this is off. And so I'm like, was there something wrong with him, or was he just drunk? I don't know. But it's pretty freaking early, and yeah, made me really uncomfortable actually, because I was just like, oh. And it's my favorite shop to go to, specifically because I know the guys in there, because the owner, now to be fair, he did the first time I went in there, first like 10 times I was in there, he always be like, guys, this is my future wife. But then the owner left. I guess I don't know where he is. Probably opening another store, probably traveling around, because he would always be like, hey, and it's actually quite funny because he's a Middle Eastern guy, yeah. And he would show me like videos like to try and convince me of himself dancing, and he's pretty good. He was showing me the like Middle Eastern dancing, and I was like, it's actually pretty good. And then he was also like talking about here, let's go to Jamaica for 3 weeks. Anyway, because of that, the rest of the guys in the store who work there, hella respectful. So I really like going there because I feel like it's one of the places I can actually go where I don't have to worry about stuff like this. You know what I mean? So that's why it's really annoying me, because I'm just like, for goodness sake, a girl just wants to live. A girl just wants to, like, actually, and a girl just wants to be left alone. Like, it's the morning. I'm just minding my business. You know what I mean? Anyway. So yeah, anyways, guys, I don't know, like, it's not worth it. Like, being here is just not worth it. Like, actually, you do a good deed, everyone acts like you're like, oh my gosh, that's insane. Like, as if like it's so unusual that anybody would do something good, right? And then we praise people, and you guys know my pet peeve phrase of all time is, we need more people like this in the world. Become that person. Become that person. Stop waiting for somebody else. Like, the fact that everybody's always waiting for somebody else to do what needs to be done, and then wanting to benefit off of what other people are doing. That's why I hate it here, because it's like, you're more than happy to expect for other people to do what you are not prepared to do. You're more than happy to benefit. Like, this is why I don't get how people do that. Because, see me, I've struggled to accept things I haven't earned or worked for. So I don't know how people are so quick in life to just, oh, I'm entitled to this and I get to have this and thank God somebody else did the work. Like, I don't get it. Because to me, that's just so counter, like, how I am. I'm like, if I didn't, like, I always want to, like, you know, pay my way, put in my effort, do my part, like, you know, for everything. And not because I just have this over sense of just I have to do all this, but because it's an appreciation. Like, it's a joint appreciation. Like, if you did something for me and you went out of your way, then I want to repay you in some aspect, not because you're expecting it or because I feel like I have to, but because I'm genuinely appreciative. And that's one thing that I've realized about relationships that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, everything's hella transactional these days. People do stuff with the expectation of what they're going to get in return, and I don't. I do things because I want to. It's as simple as that. So when I realize that people are like, oh, well, I did this, so I'm expecting that, go away. Like, get out of my face. Like, I actually don't want to be around anybody. Actually, like, to be honest, I actually don't really want to be around anyone. Like, for these reasons. Like, if you're doing something, like, if I do something for anyone, I'm doing it. Like, this is why I think I can work well with kids and other adults struggle. This is exactly why. Because I feel like adults here, a lot of people, even hear parents, like, being a parent is a thankless job. Yeah, of course it freaking is. They're children. What do you expect them to do? Do you expect them to have all the understanding? Also, you're the one who chose to have them. Like, shut up. Like, shut up respectfully. I feel like I work well with kids because I'm not expecting anything from them at all. At all. I'm the one who's here to teach you. It's my job to make sure you understand what you need to do. And I'm the one who needs to, you know, do what I got to do. Like, I'm not looking at you to be like, oh, you know what? This is why I hate when people are like, oh, these kids, this particular child is a bit difficult. You know what? We all are at different times in different ways difficult. We're all difficult to deal with. And again, the fact that we're calling people difficult and other people easy, and that's even been shown in psychological studies. They've shown that a lot of kids who are considered easy is just because they were internalizing everything. So actually they were just suffering for the sake of making everybody else feel better. And so the other ones who are considered difficult were just the ones who freely expressed themselves, while the other person who was considered, you know, easy to deal with was just because they were internalizing everything to make everybody else feel better. So everybody lost in that story arc. That's what I'm saying. People in real life, in relationships and in everything, want the easy option, and everybody wants everything. Like, so I've realized everybody wants everything. Like, everybody wants to have all these things in life. They want to be rich. They want to be attractive. They want to have friends. They want to have family. They want to have all this, yeah? But people are not thinking about what they bring to the table. Like, what about you? Who are you? You haven't thought about how you are to be around. Do you know how many people have been around who are actually boring? Like boring. And you're here crying of laughter, right? Because I'm making jokes and whatever. And I've worked again hard to actually be funny in a lot of instances. And it's something I can't do. Like I could never be a comedian. I don't think I could plan it. But like in the moment, spontaneously in conversations, yeah, I do. People do laugh a lot, like when I'm saying stuff, you know. And stuff like that. I've worked hard to be there. Like it's like when you lose weight. Like I've worked hard. Like every day I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, wow, my body's like, we're cooking, but I'm working hard to be there. I'm watching what I'm eating. I'm intentionally exercising. Don't now be like, oh, I wish I could have been like that if I was as lucky as this. No. Work for it. You want to have friends, you want to have people that want to be around you. Be somebody that's nice to be around. Like actually like lock in and actually do it, because this is what's actually irritating me about everybody. Oh, it's so nice to see people doing good things. You go and do the good things. You go do the good things. Stop waiting for somebody else. Stop waiting for, oh, I hope, it's like with Christians, I pray that Jesus would come so that Jesus can come and do all the things that we need Jesus to do, because look at you step up, you speak, you use your voice. You, why you got to wait for Jesus? Why does Jesus have to come in here? Why are you have free will. You have free will. You have a job. You have places where you have a voice, where you have an influence, where you have an impact. Why are you waiting for Jesus? Like, I can't stand this place. Like, I actually hate it here. To be honest, I don't know why God let me like actually live. Like, genuinely speaking, like I actually wish He'd let me die, because why would I be in such a freaking brain dead society? Yeah, of people that are so selfish and always wanting what they want for themselves and always entitled to everything and always hoping for a handout and rarely standing up their freaking selves. And then when somebody does, oh yay, we're so happy that you're sacrificing yourself for the sake of everybody else. That's the world I'm living in. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go because I'm losing patience now. And who knows, maybe this guy's on his way. Anyways, I've just had to say everything I've got to say. I'm just gonna upload the videos and just, you know what, whatever happens, who cares? It's the world anyway, right? I'm gonna be wrong for asking everybody to just all do what everybody wants to be done. But you know who will protect? The worst types of people in the world are the ones who remain protected always. And that's the world I'm living in. Thank goodness for God, because honestly, without Him, I promise you guys I wouldn't hesitate to kill myself. Like, genuinely. Anyways, God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you in my next one.